Yeah, let's talk about Monday Night Raw. Let's talk about the return of Vince McMahon, and yeah, let's talk about what we all make of Monday Night Raw. Leon is the champion. The floor is yours. Go.
Yeah, that had got to be like one of the most deflating, disappointing, worst Raws I have ever seen in a very long time. Like I remember coming home from work, saying to myself, yeah, literally avoiding all social media as well, because you know what it's like. You go into Instagram, you go into like YouTube, and boom, spoiler. So avoided it all day, even avoided the group chat and everything. Came home, had my popcorn, had my food, had everything ready, had my drink. Well, put it this way, um, it was just disappointing. I came home and I was like, what? And it was just like moment after moment after moment. I thought, hour one, okay, I see what they're trying to do. Let's see where they go. Hour two was just like, you want to talk about a piss break? That was
Yeah.
like you could have taken a bath break then. I'm telling you, you could have gone out, done some shopping, come back, and you wouldn't have missed a damn thing. Yeah. And then hour three was just like, okay, why did Seth Rollins literally pull a Chris Jericho? He comes out, the crowd do the whoa, whoa, whoa chant, and then he walks back out. Doesn't say anything, doesn't do anything, doesn't drop a promo, doesn't do anything, just literally walks back out. I'm like, what was the point in that? You know, what I really would have liked here is he does that as he's walking back out. Bobby Lashley comes out and beats the shit out of him. Something, just something to make the crowd go. If you really want them to go, what in a good way, that would have been the moment to do it. Also, I know we're talking about Raw now, but then if we're talking realistically in terms of Miz saying, "Oh, I challenged someone in the back to challenge me," and so forth, and Snoop was like, "Well, actually, yeah, you know what? I can make matches. Here's somebody." That would have been the moment for Bobby Lashley to come out and beat the shit out of Miz. Anyways, um, it was just a complete waste of time. Complete waste of time. Like every single part in it was just disappointing. I didn't see no point in it. I know matches were cut last minute, literally like an hour before the show went on air.
While the
Plans
show was on air.
changed. I was going to say, yeah, plans changed whilst they were on air. And I can only imagine how that must have felt for all of the wrestlers. They say that the morale was at an all-time low again. I could only feel for them, because in that situation, what can they, unless they do a Sasha Banks and a Naomi, what can they do? They just have to follow with it. And then I feel it for the wrestlers. I also feel it for Triple H. All these plans that he had made, um, and I'm sure whatever the Raw was for after WrestleMania was planned months in advance just to be scrumpled up and thrown in the trash by Vince McMahon, who decides, oh, this, that, and this is going to happen. Um, and the problem I have with that is the fact that it's not just affecting just one person anymore. It's affecting everything, everyone, and everything, even down to the Endeavor owners. If they don't like this, they're going to want him out, and they will get him out because they actually have a place, a window to do that. Basically, if
I
they
don't
get their
know, man.
solicitors.
The one thing I'll disagree on with you with what you said there with Endeavor. Remember, this is a company that kept Dana White as the president of the UFC when he's been videotaped bitch slapping his wife online a week ago, and they just went, "It's fine, he stays." I think McMahon's kind of bulletproof, but yeah, carry on. Sorry.
I mean, yeah. I mean, you know what? I did think about that. Now I don't want to get too deep on that situation with Dana White, but the only thing I will say is that it was a moment between him and his wife, but social media, just like most celebrities, just happened to be there to catch that moment. But at least he's not doing things with talent, and at least he's not doing other strange things on airplanes and so forth, just because he can. I mean, if I'm to compare what Endeavor are protecting Dana White to what WWE are protecting Vince McMahon from, it's a complete that's worlds apart as well. And with Dana, I can understand that point, and I can forgive and forget and move forward with him. With Vince, I can't. I can't. There's too many stories coming out about him. Too many, hush hush stories. There's just a lot of things coming out about him which I don't like. And even if you take that away, I don't care if you. All right, yes, he's done. He's the reason for the Attitude Era. He's the reason why WWE won the Monday Night Wars and so forth.
Mm-hmm.
But then even then, at some point, he should have put those responsibilities on to the talent that's in the ring, Triple H and so forth.
Yep.
Now it's just like just you're just a parody now, and you're not even a parody. You're a danger to the company. He's a complete danger to the company. If he doesn't fire people, people are gonna they're gonna walk out. And if that happens, Endeavor are not going to be very happy knowing that Vince is the cause of this. And this is the reason why I say that they may be in that position to push him out, because if he's affecting the business effectively, like massively effectively, they're not going to like that.
For sure,
They're
but
really not going to
you
like
got
that.
to remember, man, last 3 years, as much as it pains me to say it, the last 3 years, 1 billion profit a year for the last 3 years. So at the end of the day, Endeavor's a business that I don't agree with it, because it's the Transformers argument. The Transformers movies made $1 billion a piece, and my argument's always been, yeah, imagine if they were good, right? But the bottom line is that they don't look at the businesses like that. They look at, oh, we've made $1 billion profit. Fine, the bottom line's good. He stays. They're not going to go into the creative side and question of, oh, hang on, if we booked better instead of $1 billion profit, we could do $2 billion profit if the product was actually good. They're just going to see $1 billion profit, sadly. But yeah, look, Big Tone, you can shoot next, mate. Your general feelings on Raw.
So again, Leon has covered a lot of what my feelings was. I think I actually texted in the group in it, that this is a very mid Raw, in it, like it's so mediocre. Like I can only imagine what it was like being deflated. It's the same old stuff. It was truly Vince McMahon is back in it,
Oh yeah,
matches, like matches that didn't make no sense. Like for instance, what was the point of the Streets Profits like winning their big WrestleMania showcase match just to get squashed on Raw by what's the new tag team champions when that should be a pay-per-view match, and they should narrowly come. Or hell, even kickstart a Street Profit heel turn, which would have made it interesting. Do something, but no, just straight up. Oh, they had the match, they lost. Okay, that match meant absolutely shit. It meant like less than it did originally. Like, so there was just no point of doing it. Okay, thank you. Congratulations, Vince McMahon. And then, like, those other stuff that I just totally forgot about, like the Seth coming out and walking around and coming out. Like, I can't only imagine what that must have been like live, because I would have been pissed. I would have been like, what the fuck is that?
Yep.
The highlight of the night was probably Riddle returning. He got like a great ovation.
Oh yes,
it was good and it was fun, and I was really happy to see him. Because I actually forgot about Riddle, but it was nice to see him back down on TV. I didn't see the swerve in it from Brock coming.
Oh, did you not? Okay.
No, I didn't. And I actually thought that was actually a really good moment. And personally, actually witnessing it, I enjoyed the beatdown, because the beatdown, it was a good beatdown.
Oh, as a staged beatdown, yeah, it was very well choreographed.
Yeah, it was a great beatdown. I like, it lasted a good length of time, and he kept coming back out.
Yeah, it was a good rock beatdown.
That was a great beatdown. I just like thinking it like Cody. Again, I'm hoping everything that I was saying earlier in the show is right, and this is not the final nail in his coffin. Like this is basically just the start of his arc. Like his down moment, double down, like literally.
We can hope.
We can hope. And like for instance, but again, they didn't further anything. They didn't start any new storylines. As far as Vince being back, and you can tell he's back.
Oh yeah.
surely, like these big companies, if they're about the bottom dollar, they've got to learn that you've got to listen to your fans. So many of these big companies have been humbled quite like lately, in it, yeah. Disney in it with both Marvel and what do you call it, Star Wars, yeah, are learning a lesson. DC have learned a lesson, yeah. Warner Brothers, DC have learned a lesson. So many of these companies are learning a lesson, but still not choosing to listen. That and Deborah, you're gonna find out pretty quickly what's bringing back a Gomez Adams looking Vince McMahon motherfucker is gonna do to your. Like, why is he dressed like that, man? Why? Is that his ultimate piss take?
Mustache twirling villain, bro. Come on.
Yo, man. And yo, Vince is too much, man. And like, if the reports are true and Triple H is indeed gone, yeah, then man, that is just a detriment to the entire wrestling industry. And I just find fuck that we do not have to put up with that as our sole source of wrestling.
Yeah.
Of big show wrestling.
Well
like,
said.
You know, this is what I'm saying. Like, it's the golden age of content. There's so many other shows to watch, yeah. And chief among them is AEW. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So you can put fingers up at them all you want. They put a finger up at you right back to it, yeah, because they got a stadium that you haven't got. Yeah. And we'll touch on that later.
We'll chat about that later. I mean, yeah, okay. So this is very hard to talk about without being negative because I was there for my sins. And man, I can tell you this, after what I saw on Raw, I am going to do everything in my power at Money in the Bank to get a "fuck you, McMahon" chant started. And I want that motherfucker to hear the English crowd.
Huh?
Oh, bro.
I think fuck you, Vince is easier because it's like that 3 syllables, everyone can get on board.
I love that even more. Fuck you, Vince. And I will do everything in my power with my ministry brothers to make sure that the O2 is drowning in that song. Because what I saw on Raw, man, like, it was painful. Now, I've never made a secret on this channel about my feelings about Triple H's booking. I've said for 9 months now, we're grading on a curve here. We're grading on a curve. It was so bad before that even just doing the bare minimum, you know, calling a wrestler, calling a belt, seemed like, oh my God, it's actually good again. It's like, it's not that it's good again. It's just that it was so shit before that Triple H doing literally the bare minimum as a booker made the product look fresh again. And fucking well done to him for that. But what I can tell you, if this last Raw was anything to go by, that curve, grading on a curve, yeah, we're going right back down to the bottom of that curve, brothers. Because, oh my word, Dan the Tech, to his fucking credit again, called it brilliantly. Triple H came out at the beginning, got a monster pop. And when he started talking, Dan whispered in my ear, he said, this feels like a goodbye. Has he just been fired? Is McMahon back? And then the fucking reports came out. Dan fucking called that shit. And I wish he was there to, you know, take credit for it in person. But I will say for him, he called that shit. Now, speaking of calling shit, the moment Brock came out and shook hands with Cody, I whispered in Dan's ear, he's going to fucking F5 him. If it's not now, it's later. I'm like, you don't ever make a tag team match with Brock. Like, that's fuckery of the highest level. Now, an F5, a single F5 to end the match, I would have been down with, because I would have been like, cool. So they're taking Cody out of this is me still being fair and objective. They're taking Cody out of the title picture. They're going to have a little thing with him with Brock. They're going to get him to beat Brock. They'll make him look like a star again. And they're going to go on a few more matches and build him up. But that was a beatdown and a half, brother. That felt like literally WWE saying, this is why we bought you, to stomp your lights out, Mr. AEW. And it finishing with the double bird, as I said, it was like, it felt like such a fuck you to the people who had been invested. And man, if I tell you that the air was sucked out the stadium at the SoFi, people left kind of like, people left the SoFi looking like Obelix from Asterix and Obelix after he's carried one of those big rocks, you know, fucking wrists down by their ankles, just hunched over, thinking, "Oh God, that was painful." People left Raw pissed. Like they were of course, they cut the feed at this point. There were boos, like proper boos, ringing around the stadium, and it wasn't just like, "Boo, we love you, Cody. We hate you, Brock." It wasn't heel heat. It went beyond that. It was like, "Oh, you're gonna do us dirty now. You're not just fucking your superstars. You're fucking your fans again. Okay, cool. Here's how we feel. Here's some booze for you, you old cunt." Now, look, people were furious at Raw, mate, and
NXT apparently as well. Fuck you, Finch chance.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Fantastic. Long may that continue. I hope that goes to every single pay-per-view.
No, I think it was Fire Fins. Yeah, it was Fire Fins.
We're gonna up that ante in the UK and go with "fuck you, Vince" when Money in the Bank arrives. That's literally at this point. That's the only thing I'm looking forward to that pay-per-view for. Being able to scream "fuck you, Vince," knowing that cunt could actually hear my voice. That's the only thing I'm.
On the WWE UK Instagram page, there is a start of Fire Vince. There's a hashtag Fire Vince thing going around as well, and that's growing also.
Good.
Yeah.
Good.
That's growing as well. I even added to it because he needs to go.
He does need to go. He does need to go. But as long as that company's recording the profit. Huh?
He was done. He was like rode off into the sunset. They did a little package for him. He got to come out and say goodbye. Like, listen, just piss off and stay pissed off. Why are you back? Yeah, no one wants you back. Literally, no one wants you back. Yeah. And like you may have wrangled your way in it to like say, look at them, look, my company's being profitable. But again, like, humility is coming, for you.
I hope so.
You were, God knows, you could just stay behind the scenes and just let everyone else do their thing. But no, you had to be there front and center, ruining both WrestleMania and Raw, man. Let's fuck off at this point, man.
Yeah, literally. And it's spite. That's what I say. It's spite. That's why I believe so firmly that this Cody thing was a burial, not a rebuilding, because it's McMahon booking it. And he is a horrible, spiteful man. You know, he's like a real MJF. You know, what MJF does in kayfabe, McMahon is for real. He literally walks around thinking he's better than everyone and that his shit don't stink. And he lets people know that. That's the fucked up thing. This is a man who literally seems to hate his own fans and who gets some sort of sycophantic joy out of our misery. He's an awful, awful man. And that could be felt throughout Raw from that opening where Cody went, "I want a rematch." "No." "Okay. Tag match." It's like, fuck off with that, man. And then the Omos not having his gear and the fucking 30 seconds burial of Mustafa Ali. You're going to have to change that 3 things are sure in life to Mustafa Ali now. You know that. To Elias fucking getting his ass whooped. Like, it was just one thing after another. Like, what is the point of Damage Control at this point with the way they've been booked? They're going to lose 2 nights in a row? Like, what's the point?
Bailey got cancelled as well. I mean, what was that?
Like, you know, you hear all these things. Like as I've said already, I was iffy about Triple H's booking, but you hear things like, "Oh, post-Mania, LA Knight's going to get a massive push." I don't see that happening anymore. Vince isn't going to understand a guy like LA Knight. You heard that Austin Theory was going to, have not Austin Theory. Gunther was going to have, a monster title reign. Vince isn't going to understand Gunther. That IC title will be off of Gunther within the next 2 to 3 months. You won't see Gunther on TV and you won't see the IC title at pay-per-views anymore. And this isn't something like, "Oh, but you're being so negative." I'm like, this shit has happened before. You literally gave Shinsuke Nakamura the IC title twice. And the moment he had that title, he couldn't get on TV. Like, this isn't hyperbole. This isn't like negative speculation. This shit is historical at this point. It's like, to quote Paul Heyman, this isn't prediction. This is spoiler territory at this point because this shit has happened.
And to quote CM Punk, we need to understand just how true that statement he made all those years ago really is.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, the only way that WWE is going to be good is when he is no longer on this earth. That is when it's going to be better. Because other than that, it's just going to stay exactly how it is. And then it's funny how they cut his mic when he was just about to explain the bully tactics, because that's exactly what he's used to reassume himself in the position that he's in right now. He's using bully tactics.
Oh, I
And
mean,
the only thing,
just to build on that quickly, brother Leon, this is literally a man who held his own company to ransom in order to
yeah,
get back in. Like, you have to, like, this isn't, again, hyperbole. This man literally wouldn't sanction, and bearing in mind, even when he was gone, he still retained power as a board member. He was holding the company ransom to let him back into an executive role, or else he wouldn't renew the TV contracts, which the power remained with him for. He was literally going to say to his own company, I'm not going to give you your TV rights unless I get back in. How fucking crazy do you have to be that type of person?
you know what? It's times like now, yeah, I really wish that the hush money, the hush money customers would speak out, because really and truly, what would really happen if they were to speak out? I mean, what's Vince gonna say? Oh, I paid them to shut up. Do you know what I mean? Like, at the end of the day, right? At the end of the day, he may think that he's getting away with all of this stuff, but you know, at the end of the day, if Trump can be tried, then he will be tried, and I'm really hoping that he gets
what I was
tried,
gonna say.
because there's still some things going against him still, that he has to go through. So
Yeah.
I'm just really hoping, yeah, that karma catches up with him. You know what I mean? And if it isn't karma, then I hope it is the other karma, and she power bombs him off the building. Because at the end of the
And
day, we need that dick dastardly looking motherfucker out to that company.
yeah. And how bad is this that we were all saying at the top of the show that, like, this is a man who gave us the Attitude Era, who gave us people like The Undertaker, The Rock, Austin, Cena, Michaels. Like, this is a man who has 20 years ago plus been responsible for some of our happiest nostalgia moments as children. And for him to have fallen so far from the tree that as a group of 3 friends who all love wrestling and who are more invested in WWE than they probably should be at this point, that we're all sitting here saying, not only do we want you gone, we're not going to be saying thank you, Vince, when you retire. And we acknowledge the world will probably be a brighter place when you are gone. Like, that's how much disdain this man has created amongst his fandom. Like,
even to touch up on your situation there, right? Yes, he gave us these characters, but at the end of the day, right, it was Mark Calloway who gave us the Undertaker, all 30 years of it. Do you see what I'm saying? It was you know, the Anoa'i family that gave us the Yokozunas and the Umagas and the so forth. They may have been given these characters, but it were those superstars, those people who gave us those characters, their time, their blood, their tears, their sweat, and all those things like that. And if he left the company, Triple H can give you know, characters to these wrestlers, and and they will still continue to make it work. You know, at the end of the day, he's not the first, and he will not be the last person to create a character, and then for that person to make that character work. So, you know, he can't really ride on that banner anymore. We know it, but we've had enough of it now. So he needs to just get off, because it will long last without him, and it will be better again without him. You know, so the only thing I can say to that in closing is, you know, we need to help, like, make WWE great again, like it was all but 8 months, because now it's just gone back to the abortion basically, and it's disgusting. I don't like it.
Big Tone, anything you want to add before we move on to our third topic?
I've got to say, like, basically, I've never seen anyone lean in so hard to the saying of Dark Knight, either die a hero or live long enough to see yourself become a villain. My man not only took that, he leaned into it fully, and he's happy to be that villain. Yeah, and I just say, Vince, man, you ruined your own legacy. Again, like, when people say your name, it should be talked about in nothing but respect. But you have killed that for yourself. Yeah, like a couple of years would have gone by after your first retirement. Yeah, and you'll be a hero again. Everyone will have nothing bad to say about you.
Oh, sorry, Big Tone, I got to cut you there. It was not a fucking retirement. He resigned in disgrace. Do not give him the credit of calling it a retirement.
We know all
He's
of
like
that.
he's like the Harvey Bernstein of wrestling. That's who
That
he is.
weren't no retirement.
No, I get what you said, but what I'm trying to say is that look, if he had just fucked up and stayed fucked up, a couple of years would have gone by, and people actually start to respect him, and his name will be praised highly for everything he's done. Now, like as you said, with him coming back again, with him bringing back the status quo of bullshit that we hate, yeah, people are never gonna love him again. Yeah, so you just sullied your own reputation for what? For what? A couple more days in the sun. So what, man? You're old. Just go enjoy your money. Sit down, play with your grandchildren, man. Now your grandchildren will probably start to have children right about now, isn't it? Yeah, you should also enjoying life, not like the sitting there getting like your joys off of ruining your fan base, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah. Well, go and spend time with your new wife.
Well, it's actually do anything like take up golf, man. Go visit your buddy Trump in jail. Do whatever, man. Like this.
Yeah.